you may see a familiar power rack waiting to be assembled by my crew. Comment down below if you happen to recognize it. I'm gonna tell you that wild story later in today's video. First, we need to talk about the gossip, the releases, and the wild news happening in the home gym world. The No Fake channel, checking in. Jonathan here, and let's just start off with what I thought was actually an April Fool's joke from Rep Fitness. They had been teasing out these steel calibrated plates with nickel finish, laser etching, ultra thin, and the fact that they have a special coating to prevent smudging for quite some time. Well, they finally dropped live on their website, and look at this price point.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
I mean, for a 320-pound deadlift, you're looking at $1,410. This is well over $4 a pound. I think it's like $4.40 a pound. Now, these do have an accuracy of 10 grams, so that's super small. And if you have to ask how much it costs, you probably can't afford it. If you wanted a deadlift like 500 pounds, you're looking at well over $2,000.
That's a write-off.
Next is Titan Fitness, being Titan Fitness. We always expect them to kind of step up to the plate and do more, and they always seem to let us down, don't they? I will say the last barbell that they released was the Poseidon limited edition power bar. And if this looks familiar, it should. This is a regurgitated Moby Dick power bar, which I happen to love at $200. The only thing they did was change the sleeves to blue, add a different end cap, and add a $200 surcharge. Yep, classic Titan Fitness. Well, they've just released brand new quick slide J-cups and spotter arms. And at first glance, it means these are gonna make your day a little bit easier. You flip a switch, and rather than having to undo your J-cups or your safeties to readjust them, whether you're gonna go from squat to bench press, you just slide these things up and down your rack lickety-split. Well, I recently saw a video from Hypertro Fit. He saw these J-cups at Home Gym Con, thought they looked good, and bought himself a pair. Keep in mind, he got this pair specific for his brand new Titan rack. So this is not a case of Rep Fitness rack and Titan J-cups. No. These are specific to the rack. And oh, by the way, they tore up his brand new rack, scratching it to kingdom come. Apparently, they forgot to add the UMHW lining. Go figure. I will say, if you go to their website, they have since been MIA on their website. They are no longer available for sale. And this is really your cautionary tale when it comes to Titan Fitness and first gen releases. Typically, they don't do enough due diligence to make sure everything is going to be perfect, and they let the consumer be their guinea pigs for what is equivalent of a beta version, only to kind of fix those issues on Gen 2 or Gen 3. So you really don't want to be an early adopter, especially when it comes to Titan Fitness equipment. Now, to Titan's credit, if you want to give them credit, they did reach out to Hypertro Fit. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. And they are going to make it right. They're going to send him new uprights, and they're going to send him new J-cups that actually have UMHW lining. And I will say, to Titan's credit again, every time I've had an issue with their products, and there have been a few, when I do call the customer service, even though they're slow to respond, they always make the issue correct. They always make it right. If you're picking up any of this home gym gear, or even just window shopping, do me a solid and use those affiliate links, which are in the description of today's video. It costs you nothing, but it helps keep this channel from skipping leg day. When you use those links, let me know so that I can send you a small token of my appreciation. Now, one company that made a pretty big splash at Home Gym Con was Force USA. They had some interesting products that were going to be released shortly, and they have since at least released them for pre-order. They had a number of content creators go out to their Utah location, and I don't know if I would call these reviews, because I don't think these people got to train on them for like more than a day, but they were able to kind of test them out in their studios and make some content highlighting the equipment. Force USA, they are probably making some pretty good waves. People seem to be interested, seem to be talking. Now, one thing Force USA is not, and that is a budget home gym company. Looking at these prices, they are expensive. Now, I have not used these enough. I only got to test a few of these out at Home Gym Con to comment on whether the price is worth it. Keep in mind, these do come with a money-back guarantee, which I always love, and they come with a lifetime warranty, I think structurally, which again is something I always love. But they are marketing towards higher paycheck individuals. The reason being, they give you a ton of customization options, obviously to boost the weight stack, to add a bunch of different benches. But as you can see, you can get white glove service where people will actually come in and assemble these things for you. And while at first glance you're like, why would I have someone do that? But if you think about it, an assembly might take you 4 or 5 hours, and is your 4 or 5 hours worth $600? You can also get a maintenance plan if you want someone to come in and tune up your power rack on a yearly basis. I have to imagine it's probably easier being a premium company trying to target higher earners for purchasing your products than being a budget company. Budget companies, it's just a race to the bottom as you try to cut costs, and so there's always going to be someone else trying to undermine what you're selling. Whereas if you're a higher end product company, what's that saying? It's easier to sell, one pencil for $100 than 100 pencils for $1. One company that has really ridden the line of quality to cost, and that is Bells of Steel, and they've got their new Oblivion tower. In case you don't remember, they do have a budget cable tower. You can get it plate loaded, you can get it with the weight stacks. I've reviewed this one. It is legit, a really nice product that fits in some small spaces. Essentially, this Oblivion tower is literally the older, bigger brother to the cable tower I previously mentioned, but this older brother has done a few cycles of super creatine. You get 3x3 construction, you get 1-inch holes as well as keyholes there, and you get the ability to have it plate loaded as well as stacked, and then of course you can tack on extra weight on top of that. It seems to be just the higher end version of that cable tower, and I think a lot of people who again have a small space but want to make the most of it are gonna find this beneficial. Why do I have Adrian Gluck's Vulcan Talos sitting in my garage gym unassembled? Long story short, no. Long story short, I reached out to Vulcan Strength over 6 months ago asking to review their Vulcan Talos power rack system because I hadn't seen any reviews of it on YouTube at the time. Fast forward and Vulcan just ghosted me. I mean nothing, radio silence, until Adrian Gluck put out a review on his YouTube channel calling the Vulcan Talos the single worst piece of home gym equipment he's ever reviewed. And remember, this is a man who reviewed the Titan Fitness pivoting tricep bar. So the bar on his scale is low. I mean ankle splitting low. Then, wouldn't you know it, Vulcan finally reaches out and says they would be interested in having me give an honest review of the Vulcan Talos.
I couldn't do it, but if you can somehow pull it off, I'll watch it. Good luck.
But the one that they're gonna send me is new, just out of the box, and that's where I got just a little bit suspicious. When the delivery driver reached out to me from the same exact town as Gluck's massive estate, well, that's when I put 1 and 1 together. Now, if you go online, you are gonna find a decent review of the Vulcan Talos, giving it nothing but really all positive praise. And of course, we've all seen Gluck's dumpster fire of a rant regarding the Vulcan Talos, and if you haven't, I'll put the link to that video in today's description. Here's the game plan. I am going to assemble this bad boy and crank out 30 days of training in order to bring you my honest thoughts. Could it really be as bad as Gluck claims, or is there more to the story? 2 things that Gluck absolutely loves: these 2 videos. Before you watch those, though, make sure you are smashing that subscribe button, and as usual, don't save anything for the trip back.